Bron Breakker has just left a mark on WWE history that no one saw coming. A shocking moment that left Paul Heyman, the master manipulator, rattled to his core. Heyman, the man who's guided legends, survived every twist in wrestling, and always found a way to stay one step ahead, found himself face to face with a force he couldn't predict or control. This wasn't just about a rivalry or a storyline. Something much deeper happened, and what went down that night is still echoing backstage. If you want the latest on this chaos, make sure you hit subscribe now. You won't want to miss what happens next. Bron Breakker, the powerhouse second-generation star, has always been a storm tearing through the roster. He's never cared much for playing by the rules, not by Triple H's system, not by the veterans' unwritten codes, and definitely not by the way Paul Heyman does business. He's been on a rampage since his first match, a relentless pursuit of dominance, but no one expected him to take things this far. Heyman, for all his years of experience, thought he saw another potential client, someone he might shape into a new legend. He's done it before, turning the careers of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk into something unforgettable. He's made ordinary wrestlers into icons, always with a calculated plan. But what he found in Bron Breakker wasn't a hungry rookie seeking advice. Bron had no interest in being molded. He only saw another obstacle to crush. The confrontation happened backstage, away from the cameras, but word spread instantly. There's a reason everyone's talking about it. Heyman, always the talker, always the deal-maker, tried his usual approach. He spoke with that famous confidence, the same one that's closed deals and manipulated stories for decades. But instead of giving in, Bron Breakker stared right through him, then let out a cold, unsettling laugh that sent shivers down the spines of everyone who heard it. That laugh was like a warning, a sign that nothing about the situation was safe or predictable. For the first time, Heyman wasn't the smartest guy in the room. Bron didn't want his help, didn't want his reputation. He wanted to prove that he was beyond anyone's control. That's when things turned physical. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time, because what happens next changed everything. Bron Breakker didn't just intimidate Heyman. He grabbed him, pinning him into a corner. There was no script, no safety net, just raw aggression. The people who witnessed it backstage knew immediately this wasn't just for show. This was a statement, and Heyman's reaction said it all. Fear, real fear. Not the kind he acts out on TV, but genuine terror. 4 years, Heyman has managed to manipulate monsters and always keep himself safe, but now he was trapped with a man who wanted nothing to do with the old ways. Bron Breakker's message was clear. The era of managers and advocates is over. The new generation doesn't want or need guidance from legends of the past. Bron said the future is his, and there's no room for Paul Heyman. That cut Heyman deeper than anything physical ever could. For a man who spent his whole career shaping stars, suddenly being told he's obsolete by someone so young was devastating. Bron didn't just attack Heyman's body, he shattered his confidence and his place in WWE. Word spread backstage, and soon other wrestlers rushed to break it up, not because it was planned, but because it was getting out of hand. No one expected Bron to go that far. The whole locker room was shaken. Even the veterans who thought they'd seen it all. This wasn't someone playing a part. Bron was making it clear that respect for the old guard was gone. He was out to prove that nothing and no one could stop him. And where was WWE management during all this? Triple H, the officials, the people meant to keep order? No one stepped in until it was almost too late. Bron was left to do whatever he wanted, and Heyman was left alone, broken and humiliated. Afterward, Heyman was seen alone, head down, not talking to anyone. The man who survived every era, every controversy, looked defeated, his confidence shattered, his role as the wise man in wrestling suddenly in question. Bron Breakker had just done what no one else managed in decades. He broke Paul Heyman. This wasn't just about a single confrontation, it was about a shift in WWE itself. If Bron can attack Heyman and face no consequences, what message does that send to everyone else? That chaos is rewarded, that respect is dead, that the old legends can be thrown aside whenever it suits the new blood. Bron Breakker wanted everyone to see it, and they did. Heyman's power came not just from his intelligence, but from his ability to read people, to always stay one step ahead by making others believe they needed him. Now, with Bron rejecting him so completely, that power was gone. The psychological damage was massive. Heyman's whole persona, built on always having a plan and always having someone to protect him, crumbled in front of everyone. Bron didn't just defeat a manager, he destroyed a legacy. If you're not subscribed, hit that button now because this story is just getting started. The fallout from this is spreading. Fans everywhere are talking. Everyone wants to know if Heyman can recover, or if this is the end for the man who's been the brains behind so many iconic moments. Will WWE punish Bron Breakker, or is this the new normal? Will Heyman find revenge, or is he finished? The questions are everywhere, and the tension is only growing. Bron Breakker's rage wasn't an act. You could see it in every movement, in every glare. He's been defined for so long by his family's legacy. The son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner, but now he's determined to be something more. He wants to be the man who destroyed the old guard, who proved that no one is safe no matter how powerful they once were. He's willing to cross any line to make sure his legacy stands alone. That's exactly what he did to Heyman. The scene backstage was chaos. Superstars, officials, everyone was stunned. Some said they'd never seen Heyman so shaken. This wasn't just about Bron's rise. It was about WWE itself changing. The message was brutal. If someone as powerful as Heyman can be brought low, then truly, no one is safe. This is the kind of story that wrestling fans live for. Pure unpredictability. The energy in the locker room has shifted, and everyone's watching to see what happens next. If you haven't subscribed, do it now to stay on top of every twist. The landscape of WWE has changed, and Bron Breakker is at the center of it all. 4 years, Paul Heyman's career has been about survival, finding new talent, staying relevant. With every decade, every new era, he's found a way to matter. But now, facing Bron Breakker, all those years of experience seem to vanish. Bron refused to play the game, refused to be manipulated, and in doing so, he forced Heyman to confront a harsh reality. The future belongs to those who take it, not those who talk about it. As word of the confrontation spread, fans around the world reacted. Some were furious, some were fascinated, but no one could ignore what had happened. Heyman's reputation as untouchable was shattered, and Bron's reputation as a dangerous, uncontrollable force was cemented. Heyman's response in the aftermath was telling. He didn't storm into the office demanding action, didn't call in his old allies. Instead, he sat quietly, processing what had just happened. For the first time, he looked lost. The people around him noticed, and the whispers started. Is this it for Paul Heyman? Has the most cunning mind in wrestling finally met someone he can't outthink? The bigger question is what WWE will do now. Will they rein in Bron Breakker, or will they let this chaos continue? If management does nothing, they risk losing all control. If they try to stop Bron, they risk making him even more dangerous. No one knows how this will end, but one thing is clear. Bron Breakker has changed the game, and Paul Heyman will never be the same. In the days after, the locker room was buzzing. Some superstars rallied around Heyman. Others kept their distance from Bron. Everyone was waiting to see what the fallout would be. Would Heyman fight back, or would he fade away? Would Bron be punished, or celebrated for his brutality? Fans online were divided. Some cheered Bron for tearing down the old order. Others demanded WWE do something to protect their legends. The debate raged on, but the company stayed silent. As the weeks went on, Heyman appeared less and less. His presence faded.